It was an interesting game for Kentucky, sort of the exact opposite of the 3 games earlier this year. Kentucky came out playing great early, got a 4-and-out with Vanderbilt, immediately came down and scored, then a pick 6, stop, then score again. It's 21-0 in the first quarter. They got it up to 24-0, and it looked like it would be an easy day, and then the team kind of collapsed a little bit. Offense and defense through the second and third quarters were pretty poor, but they were able to make some plays in the second half. Dane Key with a big touchdown pass. Another pick 6 by Maxwell Hairston, who becomes the first player in UK history to get 2 pick 6s in a game. And you end up with what you had, which was a Kentucky victory that it's interesting because I feel like a lot of people are going to say about this game kind of what they've said about the others. It felt not 100% satisfying, but they won and they covered. So not only did they won by more than people would think. So they're 3-1 on the year against the spread, 4-0 overall. They put up 45 points today. You know, our big question was, can they score? They scored 45. Now, 2 of them were on defense, but honestly, there were short fields on both of those that they probably would have gotten off the field and maybe scored anyway. So, you know, there's a lot of positive. There are also negatives, and I think you can kind of see what you want. Let's just start with Devin Leary. I think with Devin Leary, we've yet to see a game where I think he's looked amazing from start to finish, but he's done some really good things. He threw some great, beautiful passes right on receivers' hands. He had some pretty brutal drops in the second quarter where guys just dropped it. He also, however, had some bizarre overthrows. He had an interception that was a bad interception. He did get a scramble once. It was a great scramble, so it was probably a B-plus effort, something like that from him. Receivers made some great catches. Dane Key's touchdown. Barry and Brown had a great catch that initially was not called a catch. You look back at it and it was. Tavion Robinson kind of helped Leary out on a couple throws that weren't the best and was still able to bring him in. So that's good. But then they had some bad drops. Bad drops. A couple times where it looked like they ran the wrong route. So it kind of depends on what you want to see. Offensive line, probably on the whole better than we've seen in the other games. Still not, however, especially on the interior, quite able to dominate in the second and third quarter especially. Bad breakdowns, but probably a little better on the run blocking than we've seen. So it kind of depends on what you want to see. I thought the defense was really good. They gave up 28, but I think a little bit of that is a little misleading. I think a couple of those drives, you know, it's towards the end of the game. They're just kind of in a prevent situation. But when you consider the receivers that Vanderbilt had, I thought our corners played really well. I thought the defensive line they were able to get, you know, a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So, and then there were little things that hurt us. I mean, we talked in the pregame about how Max Duffy had said Vandy had the best punter in the country. You saw a massive punting differential. They probably picked up 20 yards. Wilson Berry had a bad game for us punting, and their punter was kicking 55, 60-yard punts, so there was probably a 20 to 25-yard differential on every punt. So we finished this 4-game stretch, 4-0, no bad losses. And honestly, with the exception of maybe a little bit of the Eastern game, no game where at any point you necessarily thought Kentucky was going to lose. But I do get the sense that there's a lot of people not 100% satisfied, and maybe I'm one of those as well. All of it's not going to matter starting next week. You're going to get Florida to come to town, a Florida team that's already beaten Tennessee. And from now on, if you win a game, it almost doesn't matter how you look. Like, if you win against Florida, Missouri, Louisville, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, nobody's going to say, well, we didn't look great doing it. Because it's not going to matter, because you will have beaten a team that's good. So the how you look part goes away after this week. But I still feel like I don't 100% know what this team is. I still feel like I don't 100% know what to expect next week. But we are 4-0, and we've got the potential to be good. Whether we are good, we'll probably see over the next 3 weeks.